YouTube, what is up? It's your boy Duke, back in from sportsgamers.com, and in today's Madden 23 video, I'm going to give you guys a full guide, a complete breakdown to the absolute best #1 ranked defense in the entire game. So, I'm going to look at the 4-3 even 6-1, which you can run from a few different books. I like the Kansas City Chiefs playbook on defense for the 4-3 even 6-1. Now, earlier in the week, I showed you guys the Samuel Blitz, a nice blitz setup, and I told you guys I'd give you a full breakdown, a complete guide to this defense if y'all supported the video, which y'all did. So as promised, here we are. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys some new plays, some new blitz setups, coverage adjustments, and run stopping setups all in the same video. So I really do hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's just get right into it. So we're going to have coaching adjustments as follows. We're going to go with this defense. We're going to turn auto flip off. We're going to leave our auto alignment on default. However, you could put it on base if you want. Personally, I like it on default better because it allows me to mix in a few different looks. And if I want to manually base align, I can, but I like to leave it on default. Most importantly, though, this defense, we are going to use some match. We're going to be looking at some cover 4 quarters as well in this video. So make sure you turn your zone coverage adjustment on match. Now, if you're on the old systems that don't have this, that's fine. If you just call cover 4 quarters, it will match by default. But if you're on the new systems, you need to have the zone coverage setting to match, and your zone drops on default. So what I like to do also is make sure that in my audibles, I have Samuel Blitz and cover 4 quarters. Cover 4 quarters is going to allow us to either play a match cover 4, or we're going to tweak it out and basically turn it into a cover 2. So we're actually going to need a few different looks from this one play to mix in with our Samuel Blitz that I already showed you guys earlier in the week. So as far as just the best way to run this formation of personnel, the most important thing is to have good DBs, 2 good safeties, 2 good corners, and some fast rushers. These 2 guys, 53, right here on each edge. They're going to be blitzing pretty much every play. It's a 6-man blitz, so they need to be fast. Your D-line just needs to be able to shed if they do run. But the 2 corners and 2 safeties are really important because they're going to be in islands basically in coverage. So you want them to be fast, just good coverage corners. And then your linebacker, he's going to be, your user. So you need your fastest linebacker here, basically your best user, and you actually can get a safety in the game here if you'd rather use their safety. So first, we're just going to look at cover 4 quarters, and I'm going to show you guys how you can use this formation to stop the run, stop the pass, and just bring some different adjustments so you guys can mix in a lot of different looks. But I want to show you guys how to stop the run and get pressure at the same time, blow up the trap, the inside zone first. Then I'll get into some more blitz setups and coverage adjustments to turn this into a cover 2, mix in man coverage. So make sure you guys stay tuned throughout the video so you don't miss out on anything important. Now guys, if you can get me to 250 likes on this video, I will post a full video breakdown on how you can get a safety at linebacker for your user. So make sure you support the video with likes, comments, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So as far as different abilities, like if you're in a mode where you can use abilities, you don't need to use them in regs, but like if you're in CFM or MUT, you should. Personally, I like to use the guys who get universal coverage, like Chad Johnson or what's his name, Porter. You got Hayes. You got quite a few of them because that's going to give you all the knockouts at once, which is just great. I mean, it's just great. So I really like doing that. If you're going off strict abilities, I would use a combo of deep out zone and deep route knockouts. So you could use man and zone principles in this scheme. If you're just going to use zone, you could just stick with the deep out zone knockouts. If you're just going to use man, you could stick with deep route knockout. Now, to stop the run and bring pressure, this is going to be the first thing we look at. It's a pretty easy setup. All you're going to have to do is slant your defensive line to the inside, which you just hit left on the D-pad and then down on the right analog stick. And, you just need to do this. Pull up your play art to make sure all your D lineman angles, as you guys can see, are slanted pretty heavily to the inside. That's when you know you've done it right. Once you're able to get that down, that's step 1. You might need to do it once or twice in the game to make sure those D line angles are correct. Then you're just going to get on the inside linebacker, which you could stay on the whole time. It could be a safety again if you do the depth chart adjustments. And you're basically just going to blitz off your linebackers. The quickest way to do that is hit right on the D-pad and then down on the right analog stick. Now, you're not actually going to blitz your user, but it's better to keep him on a blitz angle, and you'll see why later in this video. Optional step I like to do is to bring my safeties up into the box. This does 2 things. Whether you're in cover 0 man or a cover 4 quarters, which is cover 4 match, these guys are going to be in run fits, right? So if you bring them up quicker, or further in the box against the run, they'll attack the run better run support, but also against the pass, they're going to shut off those quick passes over the middle like seams or whatever. So this is actually a really nice thing to do if you're quick on the sticks and can do that. That's great. Now, against the run, what I like to do is if they're in shotgun, say the running back's to the right of the quarterback, I'm going to basically stand behind the D tackle on the same side of the screen as the running back. So if the running back's to the right of the quarterback, stand behind the right D tackle. If they were to flip the formation and the running back was to the left of the quarterback, stand behind the left D tackle. So I'll show you examples of both. So this is going to be trap. And you'll notice whether it's trap or inside zone, basically just a huge hole is going to open up that you can shoot through to blow up the run. You guys can see I just shot through the A-gap. The running back saw me, so he tried to go to the other side to avoid me. Looking to become a better Madden player and win more games? Check out sportsgamers.com. I built sportsgamers.com from the ground up to give you the best Madden tips, best Madden ebooks, all at the best price, bar none. We have a VIP membership that gives you access to the entire site, every ebook and every tip we release all year long for only $24.99. Click the link in the description. I've also pinned it in the comments and use coupon code DUKE for 10% off your order. But this is just a really good run defense. It's really hard to run the ball on. And you guys can see, like, I shot through this A-gap. You guys see I'm shooting in the A-gap with my user, the linebacker. And, you know, the running back tries to go to the left to avoid me, but the D tackle is also in the backfield to clean up. Bam. Now, it's important when running this that you make sure, if you think that they're running, that you stand like a yard or so behind the D tackle. Because if you get up too far, the O-line is going to try to block you, right? And you don't want them to try to block you against the run. You just want to stand back a bit. Now, if they try to run inside zone, that same hole is going to open up, basically. And, you know, you just be able to shoot in there, just like this. And as you guys can see here, you know, I was right there to make the tackle. It's like the running back stopped running for some reason. But, I mean, y'all saw I was right there. And I don't know why he stopped running. But if he keeps going, he's obviously running into me for the tackle. I guess he was so smart he just stopped running and then just tried to go to the outside. But, you know, right here, you guys can see my defense collapsed and there was just nowhere to go. Kind of weird how the running back stopped running. But, yeah, you guys can see just shoot in the backfield. It's easy. And, you know, that does work against other formations, too. So if they're, like, in a trips or a spread or whatever, it doesn't matter. I will say against trips and spreads, you actually also want to base align. Base aligning will basically keep your defense lined up the same way, regardless of formation or motion they use. To do that, you just hit triangle or Y, which is coverage audible, and then you hit to the right on the left analog stick. Same thing, if you think they're running, just stand behind the D tackle on the same side of the screen as the running back, and at the snap, just shoot in that backfield. And, you know, even with the X Factor running back, I mean, he did break a tackle, and then he just jumped over 3 players, but, you know, we had a lot of support there for the run. Now, if you think that they're passing, if you want to defend the pass, it's basically the same thing, which is what makes it so easy and nice. You're just going to bring the safeties in the box, which is optional, but I think it's better to do that if you can. Slant your defensive line to the inside and blitz all of your linebackers. That's it. The only difference is if I think they're passing, like, you could stand behind the D tackle, it'd be fine. But what I like to do is actually stand over the center, and I like to make it so that my blitz angle by my user is actually angled opposite the running back. So if the running back's on the right, I want my blitz angle going to the left. Now, I'm not actually going to blitz with my user. I just need to kind of take a step forward against the pass so that, as you guys can see here, you know, the O-line thinks I'm coming, which basically distracts the interior O-line, which will let the edge rushers come free. So like you guys can see here, I got one coming up the right B gap. He'll normally come off the edge, but it could be B gap. But then the other one comes off the edge. Like, obviously, the running back can only take care of one. And, you know, I can, as you guys can see, this is my user right here. I'm just going to basically take that step forward. You could engage, but you don't have to with the O-lineman. As long as you take a step forward so he looks at you, you're good. But then, like, you're going to basically just drop back over the middle. Look for, like, a slant, a post, you know, things of that nature. The way this coverage is designed, basically, like, the 2 safeties are going to match, as well as the outside corners. Basically, the 4 deep zones are going to match right here. So this is pretty quick pressure. Like, obviously, if the running back went out on a route, that would actually be your job. So, like, if I saw the running back go out of the backfield, like, if they were just, you know, send the running back on a wheel route or something, like, I would have to guard that at that point. Like, that would be me. So if I ever see the running back go out, I have to quickly just go and guard it. That's why you need a fast user there to take that away. Now, this is obviously a pretty heavy blitz, so like sometimes I just like to, fake like I'm blitzing and, not send anybody. So like a lot of times I'll just literally, bring up my safeties, stand over the center, and act like I'm blitzing, but then only rush my D-line. So from time to time, that can be really effective, especially if they're expecting you to blitz, blocking extra people, just to send the 4 people, drop back in coverage. You're going to get a quick shed this year when you rush 4. It's gonna be an effective coverage. Now, what's gonna end up happening here, as you guys can see, in this case, the linebackers in the quarter flats, they're designed to take away the flat, so they'll kind of help out on the outs, and the deep zones can worry about the corners. It's a very very good coverage. The thing I like to do though, once they kind of get used to me sending this cover 4 matching blitz, is I'll turn it into a cover 2, and then it can be a zone drop based defense. So it's the same thing. You just crash your line or slant them inside, blitz all the linebackers, take your user over to center, but then you can adjust your coverage. So like I could easily just turn my coverage into cover 2. And because it's such an easy setup, it's really easy to do. So to do that, you'll just hit your coverage audible and bring up your individual adjustments. You could quick adjust as well. I like to quick adjust personally because it's just easier. So I basically hit Y, Y, or triangle, triangle, then the icon of the player I want to adjust. So like here, I want to turn this into cover 2. I need to put my 2 outside corners in the flats, and my 2 safeties, I need them in deep zones, basically. Like not matching deep zones, but deep halves or inside thirds. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to put square in a cloud flat. So cloud flat is just down on the left analog stick. Then I want to do the same thing with circle. So I hit triangle, triangle, circle, down on the left analog stick. You can literally do all this in a split second once you get in practice mode and get it down. It's so easy. You're going to be able to do this before the offense can make 1 or 2 hot routes, so you're not going to get quick snapped. You have time. You just need to practice this. Like I can literally just sit here and do all these adjustments, and I already did them twice in just a second or 2. That's how fast it is once you get it down. It's not showing my adjustments here, but this guy's going to be in a flat. He's in a cloud. This guy's in a deep half. Oh, now you guys can see it. This guy's in an inside third, and this guy's in a cloud. So, basically, yes, these aren't aggressive adjustments. This is going to take away the sideline over here in cover 2. This guy's going to take away the middle. This guy's going to take away the flat, right? These are aggressive adjustments because someone could get over the top of me on the right side of the screen. The thing is, I'm baking on they're not going to have time for all that, right? Because I'm bringing this intense pressure. I know that at the end of the day, they're not going to have time. As you guys can see here, I have multiple people coming free. That time was weird. I got multiple people coming from the the right of the screen. Nobody from the left. But, as long as I get that quick pressure, I'm not really, tripping on who comes. Now, just to give you guys kind of a little refresher on the man blitz is literally the same thing. You just slant your line inside, blitz all your linebackers, stand over to center. The only thing you can do differently if you want, and you can do this on the cover 4 blitz or even the cover 2 out of the cover 4, is QB contain. To hit QB contain, it's basically just R1, R1, RB, RB. And the difference with QB contain is that when you do that, if they have threat detector and it's a 3rd or 4th down situation, the contains, they won't see them as blitzers, so they won't even know you're sending these rushers. But then also, if they do block the running back, contains just tend to run around and block the running back pretty well again this year, unless they just have crazy pocket presence. A contain is pretty much just going to glitch around the running back. As you guys can see there, both of those dudes came free, right? And even though the running back was trying to stick with the one on the right, you guys can see the dude on the right, he just kept running around the running back. The running back finally just gave up. But the one on the left, he was able to get in there for the sack quicker. Now, contains are a little bit more glitchy. They're harder to block, and they come free pretty much every time. So it's nice, and it's good for the threat detector. The one thing about the contains you have to be aware of is you guys kind of see, snap, they kind of hesitate a split second or stutter step. So they don't come quite as fast as a blitz angle. They still come fast, don't get me wrong, but a blitz angle does not have that hesitation. So knowing with the contain, they're going to be harder to block and they're going to come every time, but they just will have a split second hesitation. Personally, I don't mind that, but you do need to be aware of it. Anyways, hope this helps you out. I really do love this defensive scheme. It's really, really nice right now because of how effective the all-out blitzes are, especially man all-out blitzes. Match is very similar to man. When you combine the fact that you cannot run the ball on this with the heavy pressure, this is a really, really, really good defense right now to run at the end of the year. Hope you all enjoy it. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. Until next time, it's your boy Duke, and I'm out of here.